Terrifier is a franchise known for its obscene and, some might argue, unnecessary violence. The creator, Damien Leone, likes to say he dances on the line of what's okay to show on film.
Are there any scenes that are kind of like, we can't shoot that, that's too much? Or are you just like, wow, we're doing that? I mean, is that pretty much it?
Yeah. We're always trying to think, how can we push it further? Especially now the expectations of the gore are so high.
This man is double-dutching his way along the line in every movie, whether it's the infamous hacksaw scene in Terrifier 1 or the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2. I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that he does show aspects of violence in his movies that others would keep off-screen or leave as an implication to the audience. I myself am quite a newer viewer of the Terrifier franchise. I was familiar with the imagery of Art the Clown, but until maybe a month ago, I had never seen any of the films. And in all honesty, it has very quickly become my favorite horror IP, I think ever. I'm not even the biggest guts and gore fan. I don't go seeking out movies just for absurd violence, but I appreciate really good storytelling. And while the story of Art the Clown is not finished yet, it's easy to see that Damien has been setting up this secretive background story throughout the films that I think is masterfully unraveling throughout each installment. But this video is not going to be about the broader picture of the story. Today we are talking about a fun thing called controversy and opinions. And a lot of people have a lot of opinions about the newest release of Terrifier 3, because Art the Clown is killing kids now. And this has a lot of people upset and uncomfy and feeling kinda yucky. There are two scenes in particular that spark this controversy. The first is when Art, off-screen, dismembers a child with an axe. Nothing is shown but the aftermath when the boy's mother finds his remains while fleeing from Art. The second scene is when Art takes the place of a mall Santa Claus and hands out presents to a bunch of children, only for the gifts to actually be explosives. The deaths in this scene were also completely off-screen. Everything is implied. Nothing is even shown.
There's a lot of taboo, subject matter, especially with this one, because it's Christmas and children and people have all this apprehension of how far are we going to go? What are we going to do? So I would say there's no topic that's too taboo for Terrifier, but if I decide to go there, it's my responsibility to do it in a way that's sort of tolerable for a mass audience.
Yeah.
Or, where you don't go over that line way too far. Because I do that. I'll create something or write something where I know I've gone too far, or maybe on paper, and I'm like, that's not going to work. We gotta come back 3 steps.
I love this answer. Yes, there is a line that we typically don't cross. But when it is, there is a responsibility to do it right. I believe the way Damien has handled such a heavy subject is the best way to go about it. I mean, nobody got upset when Anakin slaughtered all of the young children training to be Jedis, because it was done tastefully. They only showed what was needed to get across what needed to be said. Maybe this uproar is a residual effect from all the hate the movies have garnered over the years. It's nothing new to just call Terrifier gore porn and move on. But nobody made this big of a complaint when the Scream movies came out. Nobody called Pet Sematary distasteful because these subjects were approached in a respectful way to the audience. I really think it comes down to the stigma that these movies had already built up. People already claimed they were nothing more than a gore fest, so when these movies do push the boundaries in a way that would make audiences uncomfortable, there were going to be people who were upset. And I think that goes to show what happens when you take what others say and run with it without actually seeing it for yourself. I mean, hell, I brought this video idea up to a group of friends and one of them had heard that there were scenes of sexual assault in these movies when there has never been any scene like that throughout the whole franchise. So I can't imagine how many people who haven't seen the Terrifier series are sitting on the sidelines with information that just isn't true.
Drop on by the Clown Cafe, your favorite meals on wheels. The menu is disgusting and it's full of special deals. Nothing here is good for you, so grab yourself a tray, 'cause food's a little funny at the Clown Cafe.